All right, everybody. Big Boy Sports is back yet again with another interview. And I've got a lovely guest here today. Go ahead and introduce yourself, madam.
Hello, my name is Ashley. I'm with the Oceanside Bombers flight crew, cheer, and dance team.
Yeah, and I kind of wanted, I, I look for the last year. So last year, the story is, um, you know, I interviewed Steve Walters, who's out in Louisiana with the Rougarou right now of a different league in the NAL right now, and he had told me all about the whole thing about cheerleaders and how they get paid and everything like that. And I was very intrigued to get a cheer team on, that's a part of one of these teams. And I was like, this seems interesting. So I'm gonna reach out to some at some point. And that's when I encounter you guys. Oceanside's been doing fantastic things, as far as getting people in the stands, getting people engaged, and continuing to build a community that's been, it's been a marvelous first season for them so far. How are you feeling, about where you're at in Oceanside right now?
Yeah, definitely. It's been so fun. I think we're all just really excited to have a pro football team in Oceanside. Now that we don't have the Chargers, obviously. So I think
Yeah.
everyone's just really excited. I think the team has done a really good job with community engagement, and I was really pleased just to see how many people were in the stands, even on the first game. I didn't know what to expect or if people were gonna have time to find out about us, and it was amazing. Yeah, the crowd's been amazing. All the fans, getting to actually talk to people has been great. It's been wonderful.
Yeah, so a little bit more about that game day experience, there's I think y'all have had like a couple home games so far, right? I can't remember
Yes.
off the top of my head. How has that game day experience been? Because I know
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Right, right. We usually get there pretty early. The first game, we hadn't actually gotten a chance to practice on the field yet, and the players hadn't either. So it was a little touch and go. But yeah, we got there at like 10 a.m., just kind of got our bearings and tried to practice and get the feel of the field because it is so much smaller than an outdoor field. So I think for the football players and for us, we were just kind of getting used to that. But it's been fun. We have tailgates beforehand, which is super fun, and people can go to that even if they're not able to go to the games. They're free for all community members. We have a great fan club called the Ninth Man. It's really fun. Yeah, the cheerleaders and dancers perform at those tailgate events. We are there to engage with people, talk to people, and so yeah, we want everyone to come out. We want to meet people. All of us are really friendly, and most of us are local as well, which has been really cool.
Yeah, more a little bit about that community aspect. What have y'all been doing specifically? Just the dance crew, just the cheer squad. What have y'all been doing? Because y'all are there, y'all are engaging. What I want to hear more about what y'all have been doing.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
y'all probably have like so many events to go to.
Yeah, there's been quite a few. Even though we're only about in the middle of the season, we started out at Oceanside Farmers Market, and we had a performance there. That was like when we first started, before we even had our first game. We've had a youth clinic, so that was probably my favorite thing that we've done so far. Our youth night is coming up, where we are going to be performing with the kids anywhere from kindergarten all the way up to high school. There's a chance to perform at all levels. We had our clinic probably about a month ago at this point, where we had like a full day where um, the youth could come and learn cheer and dance and learn a routine. And we're preparing that for our June 14th game. So that's super exciting. And people can still sign up for that as well if they want to perform for that. We've got Pride Night coming up on June 6th, I believe it is. Yeah, we have a few things going on, but it's been awesome. There's been some watch parties as well when our team is not playing at home.
Mhm.
So lots of chances to catch us out and about.
Gotcha,
Hmm.
gotcha. Yeah, there's so much to do, so much to do. I mean, um. As far as like, I don't really want to go too crazy into it, but I mean, I know you also probably have another job, right?
Right, I do.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So, you know, um, when I talked to Steve last year, he said that, cheerleaders out in Minnesota, he was with Minnesota last year. The team is the team is now in the AF1 as the Monsters, the Minnesota Monsters. They were,
Right.
in a different league last year. You know,
Mhm.
he said that they were getting that NFL style pay, and then, I'm assuming y'all are getting that as well, and everything like that,
Just to be
something
transparent,
or something along those lines.
right. For it is our first season, and so we're kind of trying to establish our brand right now. We're hoping for next season that we will be getting paid, but right now we're all on a volunteer basis, including all the coaches and everybody. So yeah, right now we're all just kind of volunteering our time, just trying to set up the team and kind of
Okay,
prove that
okay,
we're worth
yeah,
it.
yeah,
So hopefully next year it'll be a little different story.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, what's the hardest part about know you know a- as it being is volunteer work? What's the hardest part about that?
The hardest part of like balancing work and the team. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I
No,
think
no, no, like
you were
what's
frozen
the
for a little bit.
hardest part, about you know as you're considered volunteers? Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I
It's
think
kind of like a balance between things.
right, right. I think just making sure that you plan in advance. I personally live about an hour away from where the Bombers actually play. And so I really have to take that into account. Like, I have to make sure I leave super early so that I can get places on time because most of our community events and
Yeah, I can still
our
hear
games are in Oceanside, and I live
you.
a little bit south in San Diego. So yeah, just kind of managing your time well, making sure that you're practicing outside of, even though we do practice.
Ah, yeah, yeah. It happens sometimes.
Mhm. Yeah, just kind of making sure that we are taking care of our bodies, that we're practicing, that we're giving ourselves time to get ready. So I think it's a good practice and just managing your time really well.
Oh, I think I'm super frozen on what's going on.
I think you may be frozen.
Yeah, I might be. I think I might be frozen. I don't know why.
Oh, okay. I think you're good now. Yeah, now you're moving at the same time as I'm hearing the audio.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, like I said, this platform. I don't know sometimes, but yeah. So let me repeat myself on this question. So
Right.
when did you start? As far as like cheer and dance, like when did that start for you? How did you get yourself into it?
Right. So I've been dancing since I was 3. I started out doing ballet. I've done most of my background is in ballet. I did competitive Irish step dancing when I was younger. I did jazz and musical theater. So that's kind of where my background is. I did do sideline cheer just casually, like in middle school, and I really, really liked it. But my parents didn't really think it was a good way for me to spend my time. So unfortunately, they didn't really allow me to do it, and I've been wanting to get back into it ever since then. So this was my chance to do it again, and it's been so much fun. So I've learned quite a bit. Like I said, my background is more on the ballet and jazz side, which we do incorporate into our routines. But
Mm.
I've also learned quite a bit about hip hop and some other styles. So it's been really, really fun kind of getting out of my comfort zone and doing different type stuff that I hadn't necessarily done before. So it's been a journey, and it's fun too because we are broken up into cheer and dance. So we have 14 cheerleaders and we have 6 dancers that are just
Mhm.
dedicated to dancing. So it's been super fun to be able to be around the cheerleaders, learn from them, see them do their stunting, because that was something that I had always kind of watched from afar, but I never really got to participate in. So it's been so fun just seeing how all that works and how athletic cheerleading is as a sport as well. I really respect the other my other team members on the cheer team.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean, it's still growing. Cheerleading is still growing as a sport and everything
It
like that.
is.
Like I didn't even know there was like a full national like whole league of
Right. It's brand
cheerleading. Yeah,
new and it's super
yeah, it's
exciting.
brand new.
Yeah, it's nice to see people finally realizing cheer as being a real sport because I mean it's really athletic. These girls are gymnasts basically and dancers. So yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah, your background is in ballet. Was that like super hard for you to master or?
Definitely. Ballet is just it's very different than what we do now. And so I feel like I've come a long way, even just the start of the season. I've been kind of training in this style for about a year and a half in like the pro dance style, which is very like big movement since you're performing in front
Mhm.
of a huge crowd and you're not like on a small stage, which is more what I'm used to. So just making sure that our movements are like very sharp. They're very big so that everyone can see it all the way in the back of the stands it's been a little bit different because sometimes I'll think I'm doing movements really big and then I look and it's not just because I'm ballet is it's a lot slower, it's very flowy, and so I've definitely had to train my body to be more explosive and just have really really high energy and be very sharp.
Gotcha. Um, what's the hardest part of cheerleading? Now that I'm kind of piggybacking off the ballet thing, what's the hardest part of cheerleading itself?
I would say keeping up the energy probably, just because our routines are really, really fast. And so making sure that your energy is the same at the end of the routine as it is at the beginning has been something that I find to be really important. So I think that's been the hardest thing is just making sure that even when you're out of breath, even when you're nearing the end of a routine and your muscles are feeling it, like you still got to keep that smile on, you still got to make your movements big, you got to be enthusiastic throughout the whole game. So and also if anyone out here listening is going to come to one of our home games, the dance team does roam around in the audience and talk to people and give out gifts and stuff during the game. So it's like we're transitioning from dancing where we're coming off and we're sweating, we're coming off the field and we're going straight up to engage with fans and stuff. So it's just keeping up that social energy when you're sweating and everything. I mean, the fans make it easy because they're so nice and it's been so fun. So it's definitely we have a lot of adrenaline going, but yeah, just making sure that we keep the energy for the entire game.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I mean, shoot, it it happens. I mean, it happens. I mean, where you're just tired and you don't want. Yeah, and I feel like you've been on your feet for however many minutes or hours, and it's just like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, but I'm gonna try it anyway. I'm gonna do my hardest to keep going.
Right, exactly. Because it's like the crowd is looking to us
Kind
to
of like
kind of
how I was, oh no, keep going. You got it.
Oh, no, it's okay. Yeah, I was just saying like the crowd is kind of looking to us to keep them engaged. So sometimes even they might be getting a little tired towards the end of the game or their attention is kind of elsewhere. And it's up to us to kind of bring them back in and keep them like really excited so that we're supporting the football team as best that we can, and we're being as loud as possible, and just very enthusiastic.
Gotcha. Do you have a favorite sport at all, or is it just football? Or you know,
I think I like watching football the most. Definitely, I would say I enjoy football the most. I can't play it obviously, but football's my favorite sport. And then
there's
I like
always
to play
flag.
golf on the side. Yeah, yeah, that's true. I haven't tried flag, not since PE.
What was the other sport again that you mentioned?
I personally like to golf just on my free time. I was
Ah,
on the golf team like in high school and stuff.
gotcha. Yeah. I'm not a golfer, but I can try. My golf swing is pretty bad. Same as like my most of my other swings with sports. I'm not
Yeah.
good at it. So that's why I'm not on the sidelines.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, y- you said that your goal was always to be on the sidelines. Do you think you can see yourself like moving up in the future potentially?
I
You
would
know.
love to. I really, really enjoy this a lot more than I ever thought I would. It's something I always wanted to do, but now that I'm actually doing it, like at the pro level, I absolutely love it. And I just really want to continue getting better. And who knows, I would be totally open to trying out for any team, NFL, NBA. I love it so much. I definitely would love to move up and do it for years to come, as long as I can.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Um, because I'm gonna go with this. I forgot the question already. Sorry. Sorry, I forgot the question.
That's
No, I'm just kidding. I didn't forget the question. I didn't forget. Um, where can people find you at?
so on
Real quick.
Instagram, my name is ashley.flightcrew, and you can find all of the other flight crew members too, but it's everyone's just first name dot flight crew. So that's where you can find me and find all the posts about all our upcoming events, and yeah.
As speaking of the rest of your squad, what has working with them been like?
Right. It's been really, really awesome. At first, I was a little nervous just because some of the other girls did know each other already and had cheered on teams together before. And I was kind of coming down here from South in San Diego, and I didn't know anyone at all. So I was a little nervous at first, hoping that, people would talk to me. But everyone has been amazing. Everyone's been so nice. Since the beginning. I feel like I've known them longer even than I have. We've been practicing since about February, and it's been great. We spend a lot of time together, and everybody's really supportive of each other. It's been a good environment, and I can say that I've been in a lot of different dance environments, and it's not always like that. So I feel very, very lucky to have found this team. And the girls are amazing, and we have a couple guys too, and they're great as well.
Gotcha, gotcha. Has there been anything been tough about working with your crew or at all? I mean, the way you put it, it sounds like everything's been going pretty good. But
Yeah, I think the toughest part is just dealing with everyone's different schedules. I think that sometimes we can have an issue just finding time for all of us to be in one place at one time. So that has probably been the most difficult. And then it is interesting. This is my first experience being a dancer along with a cheer team as well, because it is, there is a different dynamic
yeah,
of cheer. Even when we're all doing the same routine, the way that the dancers move is a little bit different than the way the cheerleaders move. And so it's been kind of challenging trying to figure out like a balance between being that like sharp cheer style and also kind of maintaining a little bit of fluidity as dancers. So it's been very, very interesting. And then the cheerleaders are in charge of they're lifting each other up, and they're doing their stunting, they're doing tumbling, and so just finding out like where we kind of fit into that as dancers too, and like where we can, let them shine, but also be dancing and doing something interesting on the side. It's been cool. It's been fun, but I think that's probably been the biggest challenge, is just having two, like we're all one team, but we're also two different groups as well.
Yeah, absolutely. What I mean, football players have a totally different diet than y'all. So I wonder what kind of diet that y'all, are kind of, piecing together to stay active, stay fit, and stay on top of things. What is that process like? Because football players have totally different diets to stay fit. I wonder, what kind of process is it for cheers? Is it for dance? I wonder what kind of process, what kind of mindset are we thinking of?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say our coaches have always kind of encouraged us since we started practicing at the beginning just to fuel properly, and we do fuel like athletes. Obviously, we're not eating probably quite as much as the football players just because we're not, necessarily uh, bulking like that. But we try to focus on eating clean, eating whole foods, eating like real foods, eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, salads, getting our protein in, and we're focusing on just making sure that we recover in a smart way as well. So we have some hard workouts as well, especially at the beginning of our season. Just we were doing quite a bit of conditioning. So we were at the beach, we were running along the sand, we were doing burpees, we were running up and down the
Ooh,
amphitheater. So
burpees.
what are burpees? Ooh, it's something you
Oh
never
Lord.
want to do. It's like where you're like jumping up and then you get down. Yeah. So,
Yeah, yeah, I know what they are. I know what they
oh,
are. That's why I was like, oh no.
ooh, I know they're rough. So, yeah, definitely we're doing quite a bit of that. We still do. So, just making sure we're drinking a lot of water. We stretch a lot before we even start. So that's another thing. We take a lot of time to stretch it out, because once we start going, I mean, we just don't stop. We're going and going for hours. So yeah, just making sure we have real food in our bodies, and we're not just, it's so much easier to just sometimes stop at McDonald's, or I've thought about after practice, like, oh, I forgot to eat dinner. Should I? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that, because then I'm not going to feel good the next day. So just kind of being mindful and making sure that you have fruits and vegetables already in the house, I think is the key.
Gotcha. What has your relationship with your coaches been like? I think I follow everybody on IG. I don't remember, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's been awesome. It's been really great. They're very encouraging. I like that they are sometimes hard on us. I really think that that is important for a team like this, just to keep everyone accountable. Um, sometimes it's not always fun, but if we're kind of slacking, or if something's missing, like we're all gonna end up running more. We're all gonna end up doing something else more. So um yeah, it's been great. They're very encouraging. They all have so much experience. And I've learned a lot from them already. Just they all have different experience, whether it be with dance, cheer, or both. And so yeah, it's been really great.
Gotcha. Where do you see Oceanside, the team itself? Where do you see the team maybe next year or 2 years down the line, or maybe even 5 years down the line?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm very pleased with the turnout and just how everything's been going so far. So I could really see this team going very far. I could see it being sold out. I mean, we already have quite a crowd, because I've sometimes watched some of the other teams and stuff online, and I see the crowds, and I'm so impressed by how Oceanside has shown out. I can really, and there's still people that are still learning about the team right now, just because maybe they hadn't had a chance to even know that we have a team yet. So I think once everyone is aware, I could see it really taking off.
Gotcha, gotcha. Because there's another team out
Yes.
there. There's another team out there, the IFL out there now. That you know,
Right. And I
yeah.
wasn't sure
So
how that would work at first, but I feel like both teams have good support in Oceanside, which has been really nice.
Yeah, yeah. Nobody's afraid of good competition out here. Nobody's afraid of good competition.
Right, right. I mean, it's different leagues, right? Different games, but yeah.
Yeah, apples and oranges in a little bit, in a sense.
Yeah.
It's still fruits, but slightly different.
Slightly different, right.
Um, so I'm gonna ask you. Forgot. I'm gonna forget again. Um, where was I going with this? Do you have any advice for people that are wanting to try to get into cheers, trying to get into dance, trying to get into something, as athletic as this?
Mhm. Definitely. I would say, first of all, just start doing it. I think, I always had wanted to do it, but I think until I started actually taking dance classes in the pro style, I didn't really know what it took, right? I didn't really know what it would feel like in my body. You can see something and say, "Oh, I bet I could do that," but actually doing it can be a different story. So I think, definitely I had been taking dance classes at Facility Dance Company. They have a Palm style class, taught by a current pro dancer. She's wonderful. And I try to take as many as I can. Play Studios down here in San Diego has some Palm classes too. One of the teachers is Gold Rush, so she's a 49ers cheerleader.
Mm,
We have the Seals, the Sirens dance team is down here too. They have a new director, Michelle, who was Dallas Cowboys cheerleader for many years
mm,
and works on choreography for them. So I've taken every opportunity to try to put myself out there and just go to prep classes. Anything pro cheer, I tried to immerse myself in and just get used to the style. I You can even look on YouTube. They have tons of people that post stuff and just start doing it. Just start practicing it. Get to know people, talk to people who are on teams, and just put yourself out there. I knew nothing like a few years ago. I would say I really didn't know anything about that world. It is totally different than the ballet world that I came from. And I just would go, and sometimes I would look really inexperienced at these classes. I really didn't know what I was doing, but I just kept going anyway, and I kept up as best as I could, and I just tried to get better. Um, and then even if you don't feel ready, just try out. You know what I mean? There's no
mhm.
harm in just doing it. It can be scary and you can talk yourself out of it, but give yourself a chance before you just say, "Oh, well, no, I don't have this experience, right? I haven't been doing it as long." Like neither had I. I had not been doing dance in this style until very recently. And I'm so glad that I tried out anyway. Because at first I was thinking, "Oh, I don't know if I'm ready for this." And then I'm like, all they can say is no. So I try to go to as many tryouts as I can, as many classes as I can, and I just try to talk to people as much as possible. So that would be my advice is just start doing it. Don't think about it any longer. If you like it, just do it and see how it feels.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I mean, just do it. I mean, Nike, even Nike slogan for the longest time was like, "Just do it." Like,
Just do it. And I think also I would say I'm a little bit on the older side for this too. And, you can hear things, oh, you're too old if you're over 20 something and all this stuff. And it's like, that's also not true. I think as long as you're able to physically do it and you keep taking care of your body and you have a good mindset, I don't necessarily think that there's like a hard cutoff for age, which I would also say because some people were like, "Oh man, you're a little old for this." I'm like, well, I mean, let's let them be the judge of that. I'm still going to try.
yeah, because age ain't nothing but a number. You
It
know,
really isn't.
like
If you can keep up
the old stereotype was like, "Hey, once you're past this certain age," which I even thought of it too. Like once you're past this
with
certain age, oh, you can't do this. You can't be this flexible, and stuff like that to do all this. So, it's a calming thing to hear that you're a little bit older, but you're still able to do the things that you can do, out there. It's very calming. It's a very, very realistic fact. And it's like it's definitely an inspiring thing, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, I hope so, because yeah, I would just hate for people to think that they shouldn't try just because they might be on the older side. As long as you can do it, I don't see why you shouldn't try.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. Ashley, where do you see yourself in like the next couple years? I know you're in San Diego right now. Where you think you'll still be in San Diego maybe in a year or two or five? Who knows? I don't know.
You know,
It's
yeah, I'm from here, but my husband is in the Navy, so we do move quite a bit. So probably won't be in San Diego in the next few years, sadly.
oh,
So yeah, so I'll probably have to support the bombers from afar. But who knows when we'll be back? San Diego's obviously a huge military town.
mhm.
So I mean, who knows? But yeah, I mean, anywhere I go, I try to just make the best of whatever location it is. And wherever I go next, I'll try to find something similar. And I would love to continue doing something like this with another team if possible. So definitely I'm always looking for the next opportunity wherever I am.
Absolutely. Go getter mentality. I love that. I love that. I really do. Um, Again, Ashley, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a day, and I figured I was going to learn something today, learn something new every day. But again, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. I'm sad we couldn't get more of y'all on here, but it's okay. Like you alluded to, everybody's busy. We're all adults here, guys. We're all adults,
I
you know.
know. I know you have your job too. We all have like multiple hats that we wear, but thank you so much for having me. This was so fun, and I'm glad that we could talk about this side of arena football too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. Again, if you're watching, Oceanside's next home game is against Kentucky this Saturday, right?
It's on Sunday, yes.
Yeah, yeah, this Saturday. Actually, Sunday. Sunday. My bad. Not Saturday. Sunday. So yeah,
Yeah, this Sunday
it's
night.
either home.
But it feels like Saturday because we have Memorial Day
It's either
off.
home team or vice. I can't
Yeah, you can stream on the Home Team Network or the
remember. This
AF1's YouTube page also.
again as well. Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, home team, AF1's YouTube. I don't know if it's on Vice. It's probably not on Vice this week, but it
Mhm.
is what it is. But yeah, for me and Ashley, we're both signing out. We're getting on up out of here. We're all, busy. We're all busy. Same thing with the flight. We're all busy. So, you know, uh but yeah, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Go follow Ashley and all the flight crew on IG. Or do you have any other social media pages real quick or no?
Yeah, so if you want to follow just the Bombers cheer and dance, it is, let me bring it up. It's O side Bombers cheer underscore dance. That's our main page for our flight crew team. If you want to keep up with all the events we have going on, that's our main page.
Yeah. What about yourself? Do you have any other pages or just the one on IG?
Just that one for flight crew. Yeah, just the Ashley dot flight crew. And then
Gotcha.
all of us will just have our first name dot flight crew. And then we are um our director has a nonprofit called Empowered Women's Networking Inc. And that is kind of what the flight crew is based under. So they
Okay.
also have amazing networking events, mostly for women in Oceanside. And that Instagram is Empowered Women NI. So they have a lot of awesome upcoming events too for women getting into the workforce or who are already in the workforce and just want to meet other women to network with who are nice too. I mean, that's the good thing. They're kind of fun networking events, not these stuffy networking events that you think of.
Uh okay, okay, okay. I'm gonna have to give it a follow because that
Yeah, for
is
sure.
yeah. But on the real note, we've been at it for a little over half an hour. Make sure again you like, share, comment, subscribe. Go follow the Flight Crew on IG. Follow everybody. Don't just follow Ashley. Follow everybody. Follow everybody. There's a lot of stuff. If you're in Oceanside, come continue to support the team, and come continue to make the AF1 look real good. For the rest of the 2026 season. For me, that's basically it for today. I'm tapped out. So we're gonna get on up out of here. Um, Toodles.
All right. Thank you.